The VA project is more than just a demolition project and a development project. This is an opportunity for local community to take control of their own destiny.
This is a great opportunity for the community in Knoxville. Just the ability for us to grow. We've never had that opportunity before. To have 150 acres out there to potentially build upon and grow for the next 20, 30 years. It's a game changer for the city of Knoxville, and we couldn't be more excited about it.
Taxes are a really critical issue to our residents. We pay them as well because we live here. We'll have to issue $11 million of bonds, which is less than our original estimates. Tax impact will be $24.75 per $100,000 of assessed value. That will work out to be about $2.65 per month to the residents of Marion County.
We're dealing with public money. We also all live here too. So we're not outside people looking in trying to manage tax dollars. I'm a taxpayer in Marion County, so on budget is very important to me. On time is very important because we've given our word to it. So in the day and age where you think you can just throw your word around and not follow through, we operate a little bit different in Marion County. City of Knoxville operates that way. A lot of our municipalities do the same thing. We're still small town America, and we said we're gonna do it on time. Those things are awesome.
I was a little bit nervous about the financing of all of this at first, and the more we kick this around and the more we look at it, and we've just studied this under every microscope we can think to study it under, and it just makes too much sense not to do. We are killing way too many birds with one stone here. We're getting rid of a property that's been a blight on the city, that has been a tremendous part of our history, but not productive anymore. And we're gonna put that back to productive use. It's gonna be a wonderful home for 1,000 new people. There's potential there to build a new school. It's just gonna be a phenomenal thing for the community.
I think most people realize that as you look at this campus, it sat for so long with no attention to it, no air movement. What some people realize and a lot of people don't know is that was kind of a self-contained facility. So nothing was actually hooked up to the city. So to actually rehab a building, number one, a massive cost to do so. On top of that, then you have to get utilities to all those things. So now you're almost doubling your cost and your investment just to take an old building that structurally may look neat from the outside. Yes, it's an important part of history, but at the same time, you have to always look at the dollar and cents when it comes to these projects. And it just made sense from the get-go to take these down, and something that long-term has the ability to benefit all Marion County residents. We had two bid alternates on the project. One of them was the removal of the education center. We had identified that building from the very beginning, knowing it is in fairly good shape considering everything that's around it. It actually came clean, no asbestos, and no hazardous materials in it. On top of that, the building was sealed well enough that even after they closed it down, we didn't see the mold issues like we have in the rest of the buildings. So we had originally talked about potentially keeping that building if it fit in line with the master planning that both the county and the city agreed upon, and somehow turn it into something. So we passed that on to the city. They decided in one of their meetings that it wasn't something that probably fit into the master plan, and I wholeheartedly agree with them. So one of the alternates was the removal of that building. So as we look at the overall bid and the public's curious what is alternate here and alternate 1 and 2, that was one of the alternates. The other alternate was there's a fair amount of concrete out there. So when we think about road base and the cost of acquiring road base for specifically the county, we were going to have that concrete that would meet those needs be crushed on site so we could stockpile for future county projects. And we were able to get that done at a fairly decent cost compared to what it would take for the county to have a crusher come in or to buy road base. So that was the other alternate that we had talked about.
From our perspective, and I know there's conversation around town and online and things like that, they say, well, why don't you start building out west, out in those west 40 acres by the pond and all of that kind of stuff? It's all bare now. You could go in there and make that work today. Well, we really can't. It needs to be serviced by a lift station for sewer purposes. A lift station on its own, is $1.5, maybe more $1 million to build that infrastructure. Whereas, we're not going to get the keys to the place to start with development until everything is down anyway. So knowing that, we can build on probably the easternmost 25% of the campus using our existing infrastructure without having to invest another $1.5 million. We can build all through kind of that main body of the campus using the existing infrastructure that's already in place.
We've been brought on by Marion County. We're very specialized. We're a fairly large company. We have over 700 employees. We thrive on our safety. We pride ourselves on that. And so as long as we can stay safe for the entire project, communicate properly to Marion County, the owner, and all the other governing agencies, I think it'll be a successful project. We're going to be removing about 60 plus structures out there on site, some underground tunnels, various utilities throughout the whole site, and basically leveling it all off, rough grading the site and making it ready for future development. Everything we're doing right now is kind of inside the buildings, just prepping the buildings, getting them ready for the demolition process. So it's a little slow, you don't see a lot going on out right there, but in the coming months, you'll start to see more progress. We'll be running some fire hoses throughout the demolition process with misting techniques and water techniques to keep the dust down. And with the size of the site, I don't think the noise will be a problem. We definitely have the equipment to do this project. It's right in our wheelhouse, basically.
If you have questions, by all means reach out and ask, but know that we are doing everything by the book and trying to exceed all expectations to make sure that not only is this a on budget, on time project, but it's done in the best interest from an environmental impact to the community, and it's done in the best interest of safety.
Marion County has just started the demolition process. That is a one-year process. So we hope by June of 2022, we have the demolition over. We'll let the ground settle for the remainder of that year throughout the winter. And in 2023, we hope to be breaking ground with a developer and building houses at that point. So it could be pretty soon here.
We have to have a certain amount of money set aside to just be ready to go with infrastructure. The city of Knoxville will be ready to go to step in and start laying sewer lines, water lines, gas, electric, street lamps, streets, sidewalks, all the stuff that it's going to take to build this development and make it a success so that people can step in and start buying up lots if they want to. A developer can come in and say, hey, we'd like to take, so many acres over here and put up an apartment building, or we want to build 20 houses over here, in this area. We're going to be ready to go, and that's the exciting part. It's going to be exciting to watch the progress happen through this part of the project, but it's going to be really exciting to watch everything rise up again.
One of the problems we face with housing is that we don't have a place to expand. This gives us that opportunity to potentially grow and build upon for many, many years to come. So the impact on the community is enormous.
As I had a chance to talk with Mayor Hatch about this, I was really excited because when I moved here, almost 3 years ago, my wife and I, we looked in Knoxville, but unfortunately weren't able to find something that met our needs. So I think that probably there's other folks that come in that maybe have that same experience.
Good problem to have, right? That we've outgrown the town and the housing that's available. We've gone from 4 employees to 500 employees in 21 years, and our employees come from a number of different zip codes. They drive up to an hour and a half each way for a commute, and we'd love to have them living right here in Knoxville, cut down on that commute, and contribute more to the Knoxville community.
The biggest thing to me is we've kind of got to have some positive development on the housing side to get people to want to come here. And I think once you start to see, an influx of people and population coming back in, then you can start to see some business development. Then, it is somewhere where you can say, hey, we're going to go out and attract a new company because we have housing, which means we have people. And I think, we're going to see a shift.
19 years that I've been in the community, we've been slowly decreasing our enrollment. There's a lot of changes with the VA, with Maytag and Newton that hurt our enrollment. Now we see an opportunity for something to really help the enrollment, which is going to be huge for us.
The VA has an incredible history, but it's time to move on for the future. It's just going to be a great opportunity for Knoxville to continue to grow.
Just great to see that there's people that want us to grow, look to the future, think about what is tomorrow going to hold for our children, our grandchildren. Now is the opportunity for all of us to come as one and get on board. We need to be one, and we will grow.
The nice thing about it is it's up to us. And that's the exciting part. We're not relying on somebody outside of Knoxville to do this for us. It's up to us.